Hey everyone, my name is Matt. Welcome to my backyard. Today is February 28th and it's my weekly shop update. So as you can probably see by ridiculously popular demand, I slabbed up the small maple crotch. I can't believe how many people love crotch like I do. I also have the other contender from last week, the small ash log up there on the mill, pretty much ready to go. It's about to rain, so I'm trying to get things wrapped up here before it starts downpouring. But this was a fantastic log. There's a lot of great figure in here. I got a lot of great boards. 7 boards at 12 quarter. Yeah, they're all at 12 quarter or 3 inches thick. And then I got a few up here that are 8 quarter, about 2 inches thick. And it's just a lot of wood. it's a lot. So I got that one up there. I'll probably cut that one sometime this week. But right now I'm gonna get this stuff packed up. I just want to give you a look and see that it has become a stack of lumber or a stack of slabs. And then these ones will get stacked on top of the larger maple crotch that I have. That'll just save you some space, but the stack's gonna be like this tall. So I'm gonna put the stuff away and I'll see you inside. It's all curly right down here. If you look at the bark, you can see the lumps from the undulation in the grain. You can see how that translates into a curl into the board. That side's pretty cool as well. That side's getting down towards a burl. There's actually a burl right here I cut through. Yeah, so the next cut there is going to expose this burl. So we're going to have all kinds of different figure in here. But you know, there's some more curl there. This actually used to be a limb, so it's compression figure. Got some spalting. More curl down here. And then of course the actual crotch figure. Not super pronounced because it has that bark inclusion, but it does have a nice amount of curl surrounding the inclusion. So in the shop this week, I've been gluing up the stock for the posts for the bed. And I can only do one at a time because I only had enough clamps to do one at a time. And this is way more clamps than I would normally use on a glue up like this. But I did something that is, I guess, different or non-traditional, or maybe the wrong way to do this. Normally with this, you would joint and plane both of these so that they are nice and flat, and when you set those boards on top of each other, they have a nice, solid, consistent contact over the entire surface. Well, since these were already sawn apart with a chainsaw mill, I didn't want to remove any more material than I had to. So instead of jointing and planing them to get them totally flat, and therefore removing even more material, all I did was send them through the planer. And what that did is give me some pretty warped and distorted boards, as you would expect from just doing that. So I needed all these clamps to actually pull these boards, flex them so that they would come into contact with each other. And the best clamps I have for that are my parallel clamps, and I don't know how many were on here, but it was enough that I didn't have enough clamps to do another one at once. And the other thing with this is, since I am basically gluing these two pieces together in stress, I wanted to make sure that that glue was fully cured, so I let these sit in the clamps for 24 hours before removing them, to make sure that glue was fully set and that these wouldn't start pulling back apart, because there's a lot of stress in there now. So now with these things, since there is so much stress in them, I'm going to let them sit for probably another week, let them de-stress, let them kind of do whatever they're going to have to, and then I'll mill the whole thing flat as one unit. So once I get this out of the clamps, we'll take a look at how twisted it is. We find a nice clean spot on the bench, and we set that on that flat spot on the bench. What we got? We got about a 1/4 inch of twist, maybe a little more, which is totally fine. I still have enough thickness here to make up the thickness that I want for my final post, but this way that glue seam will be closer together and you won't notice the material missing between the two pieces, in theory, but we'll see. Once I get this actually all milled up and squared up, then I'll actually be able to see how good of a job I did at preserving the natural look of these two pieces come back together as if they were never sawn apart. Also, as I was gluing this up, I found out that the stock I have here is actually fairly curly. Let's see if the camera can see that. Yeah, this one's got a lot of curl in it all the way down, so that'll give some nice visual interest to the posts on the bed. Ugh. And then the walnut stock for the rest of the bed is all milled up. That's resting, and I actually started some epoxy filling. I filled the knots and voids now so that when I mill these down to final thickness, the epoxy ends up all nice and flush, and there's no issue or there's less cleanup to do. So these will sit for another few days. Or actually, I'll probably just wait until the legs or the posts have been sitting for long enough, and then I'll just mill it all up and start doing all the joinery. So let's take a look at some viewer projects. First this week is a sideboard cabinet by Brad. The top is the highlight of the project. It was from some walnut that a local guy had milled on a circular sawmill around 25 years ago. Brad was able to keep the saw marks intact by just planing the underside of the boards and jointing the mating faces. He also turned the knobs and door pulls from offcuts from the same walnut for a cool highlight and tie-in with the top. Brad also has a video over on his YouTube channel making the sideboard, and if you haven't already checked him out on YouTube, on his website, or on Instagram, you are missing out. I'll have links to all of those down in the description. Next is a guest bed by Andrew. After moving into a new house, Andrew and his family were in need of a new guest bed. This bed is made out of walnut with oak for the slats and support posts. It can be completely disassembled with no tools for easy moving. Andrew says he's super happy with the way it turned out and he's looking forward to making a dining room table next. Next is a jewelry box by Paul. Paul made this box as a Christmas gift for his daughter. It's made from rosewood and cherry, and the inlay in the lid is birch, rosewood, and mother of pearl. The box is finished with Crimson Guitars guitar finishing oil with Renaissance wax on top. Lastly this week is a bench by Peter. It's made from walnut, maple, and purple heart. It features hidden slotted mortises, half laps, and supports all cut at 7 degrees. Peter said this project really pushed him, and although it's not perfect, he learned a lot. So before you go, I want to let you know about this audio podcast thing that I do with Mark Spagnolo and Shannon Rogers called Wood Talk. That's the audio-based woodworking chat thing. We do 3 shows a week, and you can subscribe to that on your podcast app, on your phone or your device, or you can listen to it on the website or on the YouTube channel. I just wanted to let you know about that in case you weren't familiar with that show. It's a lot of fun. If you do a lot of commuting, podcasts are great. Or you have a lot of time in the shop sanding or whatever. Podcasts are great. So I think that's about it for this week. Thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments about anything I talked about today or anything here in my shop, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.